if you don't have an answer, you just guess. There really isn't much else to say. Beast Coast, they even have the mag to increase his power spike. And yeah, he's just gonna go mid. Whatever you put up against him, Brood's gonna be just fine.
And with the space that he ends up creating, you start seeing a lot of advantages arriving for everybody else on the map. Like, we've already seen Beast Coast throughout at least game 1, and they tried to do it in game 2, just not as successful. Creating space in all the lanes, creating space in the jungle, and just really distributing the farm very, very well.
So
now, how do you threaten that?
Well, Tinker mid, so here's the thing. Laning for the first couple of levels, 47 damage on the Brood, 65 on the Tinker. So you can dominate these first couple of waves. Your issue comes when the Brood starts to get the Spider Army coming up, like level 3, level 4, all of a sudden things get dicey. I'd actually like to see them maybe even plant the Undying middle. Just slow down this Brood as much as you can, because that timing is what Beast Coast needs.
How about killing off the CK at the very beginning? That's what Nightstalker's trying to move over towards to do. Not enough damage, they break 400 of his 500 HP. All for the glory of more runes, which the majority do go the way of Beast Coast.
Scofield.
Yeah, Scofield came back in. As the Shadow Shaman with boots first, probably thinking he's got more movement speed than they do.
Should be fine.
Yeah, he'll be okay, but it's just a heavy amount of damage to take for both the CK and the Shaman early on.
They're gonna be tri-laning versus tri-lane top. It's always difficult. I always feel a bit concerned. I'm going up against an Undying. Definitely not easy here. Both Wyvern and Rasta are really not ideal tri-laners. They're good at zoning in a 2-on-1 scenario, but in a 3-on-3, they just need too many levels is the issue.
The Shaman doesn't even know how to get into the lane. he's trying to, but he's being bodied out. So they'll at least have some level of distraction because Stinger gets to cop the harassment. And he's actually taking a lot of harassment, really low on life underneath that tier 1. 26 HP. If it wasn't for the stick charges, he'd be dead right now. This Undying is just getting huge. 12 decay strength at the moment.
Mid lane, Brood's got to be a little careful here. You can already see Wish is putting in the work. 3 and 4 to 1 and 2, and look at the damage output. Might he find the kill? He does.
This is how you do it from war. You just force the lane. You said there was going to be that window before the Broodmother has the army. Stinger has been forced to crawl back to base from this aggressive tri-lane up on top. Schofield can't really do much more, and K1's not in an aggressive position. It's not like he's playing with a Grimstroke who can give him that Inkswell and get a nice combination out with.
This is great so far. I mean, you can't ask for more from Win and Rain. They're going to be in a strong position in all 3 of their lanes. But mid, like that was such a huge play from Wish.
Welcome back to the lane, Chris. Let me just give you that tip, just in case you started to forget what happened before.
That was just so good. He got the double wave and then played super aggressive with it. This top tri-lane, it's very difficult for Beast Coast to find any aggression here. They're going to pull off to the side, try and get an XP lead.
Force this issue too, putting the wall up. A little bit too late. Stinger's able to get through the trees.
And you can tell the advantage for Win and Rain, they were prepared for this tri-lane. So Nikwa starts with the Ring of Basilius. Stinger, thinking he's going to be up against 1 or 2 heroes, has a Blightstone, and then Schofield has Boots. They're itemized like for the opposite of tri-laning. And they're playing up against an Undying Disrupt. Like, this is just not an easy task for this Dire squad.
Yeah. You can't get aggressive. If you're too defensive, you give him the lane. At least both of these kinetic fields from Disruptor have been completely whiffed. But who are they really going on here? Like, all 3 heroes from War are taking damage. Tinker is able to TP out that mid. We saw it in our little PMP, but maybe now, Yol, okay, there's so much strength. He's able to gain Shadow Shaman, 3 of them grouped up. You can even soar up his life back up. Shaman will end up falling. Then you'll actually have Yol survive. Boogie's trying to close the distance on him, but he turns around and punch again. He knows he's Undying, almost 1,300 HP. Most of it stolen from Beast Coast.
Yeah. Now, the big benefit, you do have the tools to hunt the Brood. I want to stress the importance of dealing with this hero for win and drain. It does not matter how far they get ahead. You could see, even though he had fewer CS than denies against Wish's Tinker, Chris Luck was still able to force the TP just because he has enough spiders. You have a Disruptor, you have a Night Stalker that'll be flying around. It's very easy to kill this Brood, but you've got to make sure you start to do it before he gets online, before the Medallion, Diffusal, Midas, or whatever is ready to rock and roll, because then all of a sudden he just kills with reckless abandon. Watch this fight one more time. Nice juke there. You saw Yol with a little sidestep to the right. That ensured he would miss the Splinter. The Splinter Blast wouldn't connect. The double decay. 1,160 HP. Another time, the miss of the Splinter.
He was actually at 4 HP at one point, and still is able to stand his ground.
Mid lane, as we come back live.
Yeah, this
just got to play way more careful now.
Yeah, the Broodmother's trying to get up in his face. And if Tinker doesn't rise to the occasion, that's fine. Tinker's not going to get any CS. That's a level 1 march. Have to fight underneath the tower, which Brood's very happy to dive into.
And these spiders, they have no armor, sure, but they have 39% magic resist. So this March, especially at only level 1, now 2, really just doesn't deal with them effectively.
Love how
high regen as well.
Love how Whisper is playing with the Magnus. Yeah. Scofield will go for a run, but he'll die to the Tinker. That's a freebie. Special delivery. Thanks, DHL. But now, if he moves off the lane, the tier 1 tower cops a decent chunk of damage as well, and Stinger goes down on top. 5-0 on the board. Obviously, you've got that, I'll say, a very short fuse time bomb in the mid. CK comes down to the bottom lane, Magnus. It's time for a lane switch. And already DK and Magnus are both TPing at the same time.
And a really good job there by Chris Luck. He baited. Well, he kept the spiders alive for most of the march, then ran them forward, forces the TP, keeps them alive.
Whisper can't die here. He just TP'd to the top lane. He baits out like he's going to go for a skewer. But because they got 4 heroes up on the top lane, they have the numbers war.
This is a nice decision. You were going to continue to lose this. Well, you're going to lose this tower once Nefrit shows up. You want to make sure you follow up. He's going to be going for a Midas. I like this choice on the DK. You can assume it's going to be a long game, right? You have a Tinker. Itemized to go late. That's where the Brood starts to fall off. You have that ultimate win condition because CK against a Tinker Ags, your Phantasm's completely worthless. That laser's going to bounce to all. You're going to be able to do next to nothing.
Yeah.
Just buy time.
Well, this is a good way to do it. Or maybe it's not. Scofield having just enough life, he can get back to the tier 1 tower and didn't even have to burn his stick charges.
They really, if you're Beast Coast, you need to rotate a support towards mid because now that he's level 6, Wish is free to just consistently farm jungle, farm lane, and more importantly can refresh his TP and then continuously D-push mid lane. I like to see them get around this Brood, find a kill here and there, but Rasta body is so dead.
Yeah. When Yol rotates in like this, you're going to lose your life, and Wish actually loses his.
Stinger actually just killed him with a Splinter Blast because he got too low farming neutrals.
And you'll take that. Slowing down the Tinker's timing on bottom lane with a tri-lane together war. Put the wall up and Chaos Knights can be trapped in here. It goes Reality Rift as well as it's unavailable. He pulls Boogie back in. They're trying to bring more support in. And with the shackles, Disruptor has to stand his ground, but here comes Stinger once again. Ready for the Splinter Blast. But the rest of War are backed up to the tier 1 tower, well out of range.
And the reason, just continue discussing this Brood versus Tinker relationship because these are the win conditions for these squads. Brood's so effective because you not just crush him in the laning phase, but look at it, tower's already dead. What's that mean? Jungle's opened up, and all of a sudden, Tinker's ability to farm on these shrines and consistently refresh, go back to base, come back, you can't actually farm your jungle anymore. And yep. Tinker, without the ability to take those camps, like, you're not the same hero at all. And Chris Luck's doing a great job. This is all he wants to do now. Live in this area on the Radiant side of the map, farm continuously on both sides of the jungle.
Limps gonna pull a Shaman back in again. Stinger was hanging in right behind for the Splinter Blast. A lot of damage into Nico as well as Boogie. Boogie wants to try and help him out with the Reality Rift. Nico quickly pulled back in and they break the tree, so Night Stalker very visible, but Stinger kind of trapped in the wrong area. He has to cold embrace himself up. No TP scroll available to get out. And with the Undying Tombstone, he is not getting out. Killed in the trees. So where does Tinker go? Like, okay, so you can't farm, like, the Trinity camp, because it's too risky. There's a dire observer ward watching it. You can't farm the camps close to the mid lane. Is there a place he is meant to go apart from just sit in this mid and hope that with the medallion already up on the Broodmother, he doesn't die?
This is pretty much all he can do. And not just, he didn't just die on that shrine to the Wyvern. There's a ward on it now as well. So Brood can keep playing bottom. And then you've got Vision. If ever he goes to that shrine to try and farm it up, all of a sudden he's going to be jumped by a legion of mini spiders.
Y'all's in a little bit of trouble. Shackles will come out, TP support's on the way, but Chris Luck is here. And you could see just how fast Night Stalker canceled that.
Oh, the courier! Oh my god. Yeah, this is so troubling. And I love the way they're utilizing this Broodmother. You play around bottom. So 3 heroes for Beast Coast, bottom half of the map. Leave your CK up on an island top. He's going to be just fine. And then you have Vision to control the other jungle. You're just choking this map already, and we're just 9.5 minutes into the game.
And Buki can't even TP out of here. Like, he's stuck on the bottom lane for the moment. There's no escape for him. At least DK, after that first Dragon Form, did a lot of damage to the tier 1 tower on top. So with the creep wave pushing in now, they should at least be able to finish the job there. So that's one upside. A little bit of money, much needed for the war accounts.
Look, there's their hunting wish right now. They know he's trying to play their jungle because his is no longer allowed. And oh no.
Answers the question. The Beast Coast were wondering, where is the Tinker going? But because you see all, they can just hunt across the map. And this is all around the 10-minute bounty runes as well.
And I think we've seen this. How many times, Toby, have I criticized Broodmothers for playing around their bottom shrine, right? They get ahead and then they just start farming their own jungle.
A lot.
This is how you play the hero. You're constantly active. Chris Luck, head on a swivel, looking to find kills wherever he can. He's actually going to rush Ags. He's just one piece away now. And then all of a sudden, he's able to play the entire enemy side of the map with those extra webs.
I was actually wondering too, like, if you go for the combat item, like, you're looking for those early kills, but is it just enough to have the medallion?
You don't really need the defusal here is the thing, because Tinker, Disruptor, Undying Light, actually all of these Wind and Rain heroes with the exception of the DK, they're just food. You don't actually need time to take them down, just find them. Your supports have a bunch of disable, both of your other cores do as well.
Still hunting the Tinker. Sentry wards are down. Gotta be careful with those spiders. It's hilarious because it'll be easy CS for the Tinker, but it's not worth that much. At least not as much as you'd like it to. And a smoke up from Beast Coast. They look for their own opportunity now. Circling the southern half of the map. But all of War are up on the north. They've taken the tier 1 tower. It feels like the only place where they can be together and away from the Broodmother and the objectives the Brood wants to take.
Wish did finish his bots, so he's doing all right. His CS actually respectable under the circumstances. He hasn't really been able to leave this mid lane in some time. Now gonna get back into his jungle, his bottom lane.
Nice Stalker TPing and skewer. That will be enough. With the control, Massive was planted, and they're also in range of the tier 1 tower. So they can get some extra chip damage, which will try and slow it down. And this all becomes a trade-off with DK attacking the tier 2 on top. They're getting as much out of this map as possible, War.
Nefrit is the potential saving grace for Wind and Rain. He's going for this super greedy build. Treads Midas into Radiance. That is so good in this game when you consider that all the spiders, you can't buy MKB, the MKBs on those. They have 17% less damage now because of the mischance. Brood, CK, not really MKB buyers. And just vastly increases his damage output. Remember that at level 12 he'll start doing splash damage. That'll deal with the spiders very easily.
And then you just end up having a combat build Broodmother. He's just finished the Aghanim Scepter. We're 12.5 minutes in, and it's up.
You can't be lulled into a false sense of security, though. Wind and Rain, they will have the ability to take this late.
They're actually smoking up. Probably going to come maybe for Chris. Courier again. Bringing Observe Wards and Sentry. Should let him know that people are coming in from the north. And now here we go, underneath the Sentry Ward. Able to get the first slow, and the Glimpse pull it back over. Wall and Storm together. So you may have the Aghanim Scepter, but how much life you got when you can't hit anything? The laser's able to connect, but back down through the mid lane. Stinger wants to help, and there's a cold embrace, but the magical damage is there from Wish. Able to penetrate that defense and even get the pickup on the support. Back-to-back kills and now pressure to the mid.
There's not, it's A little sloppy from Beast Coast. They had an Invis rune on Whisper for quite some time, but he's bottom playing with his CK. This is a dead part of the map. Who cares about the enemy safe lane tower? You need to get around your Brood.
So Whisper also going for a Midas as well. Like, it's not even an initiation. It's like they want this game to go late. Whisper now with the Invis, trying to get both Yol as well as Nefrit to come together. There's the sentry ward that saw him. CK will start with his own stun, then the RP, pulling the DK back up the hill. It's a big committal of an ultimate, but they want more. Schofield can't find his target, instead cops a rocket to the face and a Master Machines. He may even die in the Splinter Blast. It doesn't go out. The Cold Embrace doesn't matter. Wish has the range with the rockets.
They're in the march. You gotta be so careful here.
So much damage from Beast Coast. We know they always love to fight, but this may be a little bit too unbridled.
I'm also, honestly, a bit confused by a lot of the itemization here from Beast Coast. You've got a Sanj and Yasha on K1.
Yep, going into a BKB. You've got Brood going for a BKB as well.
It just...
Now the Midas.
A Midas on the Magnus, like their item timings seem dis-synergized. You've got some heroes going for just feel good. You got another one, the Brood, just going for win now. And then Mag preparing for retirement. It's just... Where is your timing to link up and aim for a win condition?
They found Boogie in the trees. CK's moving over. Almost impossible for this NS to escape. As they have a curse. Able to get the silence on the CK. That's why he couldn't just throw the Chaos Bolt. That would have been enough time. Boogie played that the best he possibly could. While up on top, the Storm is down. Shadow Shaman gonna get out of it in time. Nope. Thunder Strike, the damage to the Rockets. He's dead.
Vision plus Tinker. Always been solid.
Always will be.
And you've got multiple methods. Something Liquid loved to do in the past was this Tinker Undying. You high ground a Tombstone, all of a sudden Rockets hit everything. You've also got the Disruptor. You've also got the Night Stalker. It's the dream game for Wish. And now that he's online, you're feeling great. The Brood no longer has that same threat if you've got that Blink available. And as you can see, it's just, I don't think they did enough. Even though they still have a 5K gold lead on Beast Coast, they're gonna have a hard time maintaining it under the circumstances.
Are we really saying that though against a team who has a Magnus? Like if you look for maintaining farm and maintaining advantage, Magnus is normally that hero that allows this to happen. They're hunting once more for the Tinker. He's down in the trees. Night Stalker's there, starting on the Winter Wyvern. Cold Embrace slowed down the engagement at the beginning. Boogie has now finished the job on Stinger.
That Brood's in trouble.
Disruptor was thinking about it. Yol's here, already triggering off the Flesh Golem. And Night Stalker staying with him. Mass rockets continuously coming the way of Chris Luck and Whisper. He's really uncertain if he can help here. Man, how many times can Chris Luck get rocketed? That's it, like Tinker's out of mana. Back to base.
Yeah, but there's so much space being made. Remember this DK, he's got Midas, soon to have the Relic. Once he finishes that Radiance, this game turns on its head a little bit.
It's also kind of amusing too when it's War who take the first tier 2 tower of the game. It's not Broodmother just walking all over the mid. They took tier 1 towers in mid and bottom. Now, caught out, Shaman. Schofield. A little too easy when you have that Invis.
I like the item choice there. We've seen a lot of Night Stalkers in this tournament go for items that weren't Ags right away. And Ags is really, really good. I feel like...
Tell me why, Kyle.
Because it means your Void's AoE. It increases the stun, it reduces the cooldown. Like, it's just absolutely insane. Remember we were talking about like the Morphags and how it just did like an AoE Void is enough, but then you give it those little quality of life changes too.
They are so looking to fight War. A fresh Vlad's on the Night Stalker. The Ags will have to wait. They turn in. There's your glimpse. All the spiders get caught in this with the Broodmother as well. Everyone trapped around the hill. But Chris Luck, low on life, but is he going to? No. Rockets again. No way to escape. Everybody is seen. Whisper never having the opportunity as well for his big ultimate. Instead, it's just War who run at you and kill you.
It's just K1, you know, he's in the jungle. Yeah, sure, he finishes a BKB, but they just lost 3 for nothing. You had Rost at top. Like, this is great for win and reign. They're taking back map control. What? You have no business being in this area as 3 heroes. Tinker has the ability to globally teleport. Nefrit with a great pincer from a TP onto the shrine. And everybody's just dead.
Like maybe once Chris has his BKB, a fight like that would go very differently. but he doesn't have it yet. He still needs the recipe to complete it, and then he can start standing anywhere near the disruptor. But it's taking time.
This is... It's still, you know, 16-9. Still the lead for Beast Coast, but again, like CK...
It doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't.
Like right now, here we go again. Boogie getting aggressive. As long as he can keep it nighttime, there goes your curse. Undying getting beaten down by his own Night Stalker. And then RP catching the two of them together.
The marches, though.
And how long can they stand inside that march? The BKB from the CK is allowing him to do that. He wants to go for another target. Glimpse pulling back the Magnus. He's a lot easier killing. K1 just abandons him. I'm getting back to the targets. No Tinker is here. The Mass Serpent Wars to be planted. The Wish. How fast can he go? Blinks on cooldown. They just mop up the wards first and then get away. But Broodmother's attacking the tier 2 tower. The fortification will stop that in its tracks. But what a time as well for Water. Again, look for a fight. Like, Radiance is up. Let's get in there.
It's something Seb said in an old interview. You know, he felt like this focus on gold and XP advantages once those tools were added into the game sort of shaped people's understanding of what being ahead was, and oftentimes it would be incorrect because right now Wind and Rain are in control of this game, even if they're behind in gold. It's like, how do you do anything now as this Brood?
Yep, Clemson back over. Broodmother trapped. Every single death drags him further and further away from that BKB. The breeze fire and the thunder strike. The rockets are flying forward.
Gotta hit something.
Is it gonna be enough damage?
Gotta hit something.
190 to 0. And Tinker is going ham. Another one. Chalk him up. I think this Tinker's gonna start running out of room on his body to make marks.
2011, this is it. Again, it's all about the item decisions. I think that Wind and Rain made excellent ones. Your DK is suddenly strongest hero on map. You're playing on a Tinker's team. And I look around at the Beast Coast heroes, I see one BKB, but when no one else on his team has one, who cares if CK can dive into the March of the Machines? His illusion still can't.
Sting up. Tinker instantly goes to the tree lines, gets the March of the Machines down once again. The rockets fly forward. There's a Dagon to work with. That curse, it hits the Undying, but no one from War is in range. So a completely whiffed ultimate from the Wyvern.
And Whisper's got Midas and a hood. There's just no playmaking ability.
Meanwhile, Nefrit has
farm.
Like that Midas has really worked out for Nefrit. He's got Blink Dagger plus the Radiant, so he's got his own jump. It's not just Boogie who's the initiator.
Hey, it's just, again, I just want to, it's the items, man. Sandra, Nyasha, Midas, you can't afford to go these items when you're on the clock.
Walls up. Nice DK with the just blink instant ensures that wall is going to hold it there, and the skewer was a fraction of a second too early. Need to wait half a second longer, but if he did, he'd still be dead. It's 40 seconds
squad, man. They're the real deal. They had to take a game off TNC to even make it this far. Fought for their lives in that final game of the groups. They took it, and honestly, so far, this is game 3. Yeah, sure, they dropped a game, but they've been playing better than Beast Coast 3 times in a row. And this was a squad that was top 8 in TI.
Looking to wait in the trees. They thought they were setting a trap, Beast Coast, but it turns around the opposite direction. Which is like, if you want to see me, you can see me, but the Dire Observe ward's up, the Glimpse back. And that is 2 heroes down, and DK is entering the base. 22 minutes in. The BKB Phantasm damage into Dragon Knight. How much have you got? The curse is out, but it's on the creep over on the side. Doesn't hold anybody there. Nefrit with the soul rip. He actually has enough life. They're going to keep him away. Rally rip. No, K1 tracks him down. A huge kill to take, but how much have you committed? The RP is out from Magnus, but you're fighting into the March Machines, allowing Wish to play the backlines completely unhindered. 4 heroes down. The mid racks will be assaulted. A buyback has to be forced on Beast Coast, or is it?
Wish is feeling himself. Not going for the Ags like you would expect against a CK, just upgrading the Dagon. Recognizes the advantage. Nefrit gets caught a little wanting here. Pretty aggressively positioned inside the base. He does go down, but his team does cover him just in time to be able to pick up these extra kills. And you'll trade your life in this situation. Anything that extends this game's duration is good for Wind and Rain. Wish is just on fire.
They have no real way to reach it, right? Like, the Broodmother had to dominate the lane. That's why the Storm ban was there too. It's like, well, this is a hero who can reach it as things go forward. I love the laughs also coming in from Wind and Rain, but they're having a good time. I think Beast Coast would definitely have their heads down. And they have to find a way back into this. Like CK, does the heart help him? Like, does the heart, the SMY, and the BKB, is that enough?
No.
Like he's number one net worth on the field.
Your illusions are the ones that need to survive, and they can't because there's just no raw HP items picked up yet. This Sanjin Yasha, man, if you hit a timing, you have like Armlet Heart, 20 minutes in, you're brewed as a BKB. Suddenly, your power level is such that you can just dive base. Oh, hey, a Tinker, we found him, we killed him. Maybe we can open an opportunity to win this game, but...
Oh, Glimpse is going again. Chris Luck caught inside, but there's no follow-up to it.
And you weren't even able to do Roche. Like, the Brood lineup, you've got to be able to get Roshan early. Was not the case here. As DK moves forward with his ultimate active, you know there's no Phantasm for a few seconds. The heart is active now, however. Yes. With no Ags on the Tinker, these illusions will hit very, very hard. But will it be enough is the question.
They look for a target. Staying very well split up walls, so there's no ability to curse. In fact, Stinger, Dragon Tail stunned up. Boogie thinking about coming in for his own. Yeah, he's gonna dust, so there's no Glimmercape protection either. Stinger trying to get some distance, the breathe fire. Any kind of damage they've got, it will be enough. Wyvern is down, buyback to Varble, he'll commit it to now. The Broodmother, BKBs, finds their own target. It's the Undying, bring him down quickly. But then DK hexed up for the moment. Maybe they can keep that control going, and then DK won't have any level of damage. Boogie comes over, able to get that nice big silence out, giving Nefrit a little bit more space to get back, but CK still too strong. Now to bring in this DPS they've been requiring for so long. The RP! Everybody!
Marches!
It's the penthouse! A double kill for K1. The Master Machines was doing some work, but K1 still gets a triple kill. The heart comes online, and so does Beast Coast.
That was the fight they were looking for. They got the heart, as you said. So you see, the Phantasm illusions suddenly are a real threat. They can handle those marches for long enough to deal that damage. And the BKB on Brood means he can actually sustain inside this fight and find targets. He's actually able to find Witch on the back end. Lost a couple supports, sure, but not a big deal under the circumstances. And now Roshan finally able to be taken out by this Beast Coast lineup. And yeah, like, suddenly this upgraded Dagon from Tinker looks very suspect when you consider that there's no Ags. You're playing against a CK. You pick Tinker to go Ags and deny him that ability to all in.
Deny the illusion damage, even if like you can't stop the main CK. Stopping everybody else in Beast Coast will be worthwhile, but they had BKBs, maybe he was dissuaded. Maybe they just had confidence, too much of it. But the Aegis Immortal is now in the hands of the Broodmother.
And you can see, this is really well played by Whisper, too. It was quite, you don't see this very often. The skewer onto the high ground, into the RP, but it pays off.
Oh, we're back live. Stinger, called and braced up. He'll be dead here. There's no way escape from both Boogie as well as Nikwa. A little bit of time that'll be then wasted because that was a dieback. Well, it was a dieback. He bought back during the last fight, so it's a long death timer.
But you got to be cautious as Beast Coast. You are very timing dependent. You need Phantasm. Those illusions do 100% damage. Think of them as just regular extra CKs. And if you don't have those active, it is not the same hero. You will not be able to kill a DK like that if you do not have that cooldown available. AC soon to be completed on Nefrit. And Wish, there we go. That's what I like to see. No, maybe Dagon.
The
no more Dagon 5. Yeah. He queued up the game-winning item. It's about time.
As the BKB duration also gets lower, it's going to be harder for K1 to fight.
But you always, the game comes down to, can Beast Coast kill the Tinker? As most games throughout history involving Tinker.
Oh, they almost found him. Blinks away. Chris Luck really trying to stay on top of the Tinker, difficult to do. They knew which way he went because Schofield, he was waiting in the trees on the west.
Yep. And I actually think Chris Luck's got the right idea. In theory, you could be going for this Orchid Nullifier build. Oh, Schofield.
He's gonna glimmer, and that may be just enough for the Radiance. It's still burning him down. He's trying to get the distance, 11 HP. Up the hill. Ah, oh, Boogie's got him.
The Brood's going straight for a Hex. And as soon as you get that, suddenly you find the Tinker, you spam ping, and you pray that you've got allies in range. It's your only hope of taking an extended team fight.
There's that Aghanim Scepter now done for the Night Stalker.
There we go. So good.
Big ball of darkness.
Look, it's just such a huge AoE. It's 900 AoE. Again, it's one of those
group
things.
Up Beast Coast.
It's just, it's long overdue for a nerf, honestly. It's one of those abilities, like even like look how big that radius is first, but you could cut that in half. This is still a great item for Night Stalker. Mid lane, Beast Coast looking to get a little aggressive. They do have Aegis for 2 more minutes, but it's just so tough. It's similar to the first game, but this time it's Beast Coast struggling to deal with these lanes because Tinker can just bounce around the side lanes with relative ease. But this is constantly shoving toward their base.
This is nicer for Stinger. So Stinger's got a Blink Dagger coming out. So they've got better ways where they can either chase the Tinker or they can get that jump surprise initiation against War. Because War is still running a large amount of melee heroes. So if they all come together and Wyvern gets a half-decent position, there's better set time. And they can all get together as well with the Magnus. That's the synergy between Beast Coast, where their team fight power is good. It's just they need the catch.
It is also a benefit, of course, of this mag. Is even as this game gets later, CK, Brood, you'll still have that bonus damage, helps you scale. Helps to deal with the damage disparity. But really, it's just, this is a game about killing the Tinker. And if it's Wind and Rain, you want to keep him alive. Bottom, you're going to push out level 20 on the DK. Took the gold per minute talent, plus 210, all inning.
The courier flew over Night Stalker. They got an extra information. A Silver Edge already over on the Chaos Knight. Instantly breaks onto that Night Stalker with a 3-second stun into the Phantasm. How much damage have you got? There's a get out of jail free. Is there? No Nephrit with that Dragon Form. He's not doing anywhere near enough damage. They get rid of the Tombstone. Night Stalker still not dead. Nephrit, now the wall comes up. Chris Luck, wait, he actually saved his BKB for this point, so he can battle off the curse, allowing now the Broodmother to complete her TP out to safety. Boogie also running up, looking for a target. K1 the one, just follow the rockets into Invis. He stays away from the sentry ward, into the trees, starts the TP out. Has anyone got a disable glimpse? Oh. He pulls him back at the right time. K1 now has to do it the hard way. Hard to the test, the wall is up, he'll jump out. All right, if you want to fight me, I guess I'll fight you. 3 seconds on the stun, it still won't be enough, breaking him out. And CK dead for 1.5 minutes. A push has to come from War.
It's the BKBs, Toby. If you don't have them activated, it's very difficult to actually start doing your damage. And Wish, there we go. Aghanim's complete. Suddenly Phantasm, no longer that same threat level. Aegis also drops out on Chris Luck. Still has that Hex, but it does mean his damage output is limited. They need to find initiations. And it's so tough, right? If you don't have the ability to control vision, if you don't see the enemy, how do you actually jump them first? Wind and Rain, it's you drop Tombstone, you Darkness, Disruptor glimmers in, puts a Q on somebody, you know exactly where that enemy's gonna be. And if you force BKBs defensively, there's almost no hope for Beast Coast to be able to turn it around unless they get some kind of crazy high effect RP. And Whisper not yet going for the blink, thinking about whether he wants a Solar Crest or that Blink Dagger.
He's kind of got everything in the quick buy.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's just a Blink Dagger. He's removed everything else from the quick buy.
I think that's the right choice. You need to initiate, and that's just so difficult under the circumstances. Get the tool needed to do just that.
Well, coming up from the side shop, is it now? Looking for the smoke, but it doesn't exist. Just dust.
And this is the right choice. Beast Coast, they've got Blink Dagger on both their supports. They've got BKBs on 2 cores, Blink on Mag as well. It's effectively, you've got 2 heroes with BKB, 3 with Blink. Jump the back line, kill the Tinker, kill the Disruptor, chase for more. That's the name of the game.
Sounds like a good game if you're Beast Coast.
Yeah, they still have the edge, but you gotta still favor Wind and Rain under the circumstances.
Yes, get that mouse to try and follow that graph. Up and down we go. It's like doing the wave graph style. Smoke time for War. All 5 players together, including the Tinker.
Darkness is activated. No TP on K1, so if he gets caught here, he can BKB, sure, but it doesn't mean he'll survive.
Unless Magnus can do something about it, they're right behind him, so he Silver Edges quickly. Continues the run, the Gem of True Sight's not in range. Even with Radiance off, it's still revealed.
Not the best path there. If you remember, you ever played James Bond GoldenEye when you were younger? You gotta...
Of course, proxy mines for the win.
You wanna cut close to the corners. You don't wanna take this wide looping angle. It means you're seen first.
I like how James Bond has to be for check your corners and hug the walls. Like that's the thing you have to go for. Aggressive movement here from beastcoast, looking for their target. The Hex is down, Disruptor being the first one. The Spiders doing a pretty damn good job at Winter Wyvern. Silent Stuff never able to get that curse or even the glimmer of. Now BKB from Broodmother, but he doesn't waste 20% of his HP. He'll complete his TP away to safety. The beastcoast really just cutting their losses as quick as they can. Boogie isn't done just yet. He's moving over. The silence over on the CK. Now he'll burn the BKB. Hasn't triggered the Phantasm just yet. Trying to kill off this Disruptor, but Glimmer Case make it impossible for them to continuously see them and continue this fight. Now Magnus stunned up for half a second. Skew is down, but there's nothing to be gained here apart from death.
That was a really nice engagement from Wind and Rain. You want long fights.
70 seconds dead too.
Long fights favor Radiant. Beast Coast, they need to strike real hard and real fast. The moment you spend a BKB but don't get anything out of it, you can see even holding the Phantasm. If you don't identify the Tinker, it's going to be worthless. It's just going to get laser spammed to death. DK, is that a heart he's about to complete? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, coming on Courier. That's nice.
4,000 health, 37 armor. Even if you break him with that CK Silver Edge, I'm not sure it'll be enough damage.
They need to find some kind of answer here, Beast Coast, if they want to stay alive. This is an elimination game.
Their one benefit is they will hit their 25s first. Brood Mothers plus 450 spider health. CK probably go for either the, yeah, I'd say stun duration here. Probably ideal. He went for the GPM talent instead of Reality Rift Pierce's spell immune though, so he's a little weaker against these BKBs. Well, actually, nobody even has a BKB. What am I saying?
A BKB just arrived for the Night Stalker, so a full 10-second one being purchased up.
Yeah, Roche just
but no one else has him.
Net worth is even, XP close as well, but it's just still such a difficult game. Nighttime now. Map gets very spooky for Beast Coast. They've got one ward placed around this bottom Radiant Shrine. Other than that, they're playing this map completely without vision.
Everyone will want to see around Roshan soon. He'll spawn up in 34 seconds. Lincoln Sphere now completed over on the CK. Looking for that extra little bit of save in the fights. Now at 5180 as far as the HP pool. Can't say the same as much about his mana pool though. That's 1,000.
And I like both teams are playing this properly in the sense Beast Coast, they placed a new ward, they're going to try and play around it, but because of that gem.
Oh, the Invis looking for the target. The Undying is on the front lines. And he can kill him off very, very quickly. And the chain target, but then the curse. Dragon Knight, Undying turns around and finds the RP. Catching the backlines too, letting Broodmother do his work. But two heroes from Beast Coast, they're already down. Now Tinker, he'll buy back quickly. Try and continue this fight. 4 seconds on over on the Dragon Knight, but CK, yeah, Chris Block has nothing more to give anymore. K1, he is tanky, but that just means that he'll end up dying last for Beast Coast. A triple kill for Boogie. All 5 players of Beast Coast down. They'll go for Roshan. Broodmother will buy back, but it's 5-on-1.
It's the same thing we see in games with the Spectre, right? You kill him that one time and oh, he bought back and he's got a global ability. Good initiation from Beast Coast. They have to just go for it. It's their best play. They finally found this opportunity. A really nice RP from Whisper. He skewers the Tinker in, gets both. There's an Empower on Chris Luck. He's just beating in, but problem is you get these kills and now look, oh, we don't have BKB. Phantasms are dying. We're going to try and kill this DK, but even when he's broken, he's still too tanky. And Tinker shows up and just slaughters everyone. Force the buybacks.
But at this point, if you're War, do you even want to move backwards? The only thing outside the base to really take is a tier 2 tower. So push up high ground. Night Stalker still enjoying this nighttime phase. Magnus has no RP for 55 seconds.
They put the Aegis on Tinker. It's the right move. He had buyback on cooldown. And it's still, again, if you can't kill this Tinker as Beast Coast, your carries just aren't going to put in any work.
Actually backing up War.
First lead they've had in quite some time. In terms of the net worth, at least.
And even when they did have a lead, it was pretty small. The experience graph was the one that really tells the tale of this game. Like, who's been in control? Now it's totally in favor of War. Defense around the tier 2 tower on bottom. Looks like something that Stinger wants. I don't know if the rest of his team wants this. Takes to the skies, can slow things down with a Splinter Blast. Push the ward down, looking for Tinker as well as Sentry, but there's not much more to be gained here. Blinks away to safety.
And now that 25s, the Radiant side are coming online. DK went for that +2 second Dragon Tail stun, now 5+ seconds. No real reason to get the double Dragon Blood HP armor. When you consider if he dies, it's gonna be because he's broken anyway. Tinker about to get his 25. I imagine he'll get the mini stun. It's so good. How do you play a Rasta when Rockets consistently interrupt your shackles? It's nigh impossible.
That was a perfect delayed timing. Beast Coast really need to try and find something now. Their base is being entered through the mid, the creep wave on the bottom. Stops the backdoor protection. But they're all not there. There's an attempt to push in the top lane to farm up the jungle. I don't know if they're looking for another item, like another Lincoln Sphere, is what they're building on the Broodmother. This is all taking time. Meanwhile, clearance is getting stronger. A Maelstrom into Mjolnir, which is the build here for the DK.
He's so farmed.
Disruptor is very close to an Aghanim Scepter as well. 200 gold for that. 180 gold per minute level 20 talent just gets you there.
Lincoln's now picked up.
Brood.
Chris Luck as well. They've got 2. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's gonna help him out too much, Toby. That's over 2.5 million watch the machine's damage. 4 wishes Tinker, obviously well practiced, and I think he's proven it. His movement, his mechanics quite fluid. Hasn't really made any miscues. He got caught here and there, but it wasn't as if he did that typical blink into death as we've seen so many times.
This top lane is so funny, just watching Schofield play around. There's your curse out over on the Night Stalker. Broodmother's wrapping around from behind. They want to try and mop up the backline for Disruptor. Again, these Glimmer Capes. The vision game is so difficult for Beast Coast, especially when you're dead. You can watch from the sidelines, both supports getting picked off quickly. Shaman's managed to buy back, but Chris Luck being mini-stunned up by these rockets that continue to spam out. And what's Magnus even doing? Okay. CK can kill off Nick. Well, more support coming in and DK's backing off.
And they got the supports though, not a bad
start. Yeah, they did.
And both teams, like, this is one of those games where playing support is just absolutely miserable. You have a gem on the Night Stalker, so I have no, like, you have Glimmer Capes on Rasta and Wyvern, sure, but there's absolutely nothing you can do if you get charged at, especially if he pops BKB.
Actually got a long window where these supports are down.
Yeah, no buyback on either one. If you're keeping a counter, Beast Coast should know it.
Yep, and the Aghanim Scepter was actually fully purchased as well from the Disruptor, so like at least didn't lose any money, but you may lose more than that. Brood can push hard. CK does a hell of a lot of damage. He's taken the tier 2 tower on top. And now Beast Coast are going to enter the base. The first team to kill off a tier 3 tower is the one that it feels like they've just totally lost control. Freeze fire, well off target, but because the top lane, double catapult wave, fortification will slow things down. Welcome to your mini-stun rockets, but you've got a Shaman. The mass serpent wards get planted. The tier 3 tower gets picked off. Still a 35-second window for the Broodmother pushing bottom. The rest of the team pushing top. It's splitting the attention of war, and they just don't have the numbers to cover this. The melee racks be finished up by the mass serpent wards. K1 wants the range too. Beast Coast have inflicted the property damage against war.
Very impressive from Beast Coast. Again, they're killing heroes without buybacks, right? If there's 5 alive, it's a totally different story, but they're the ones with the numbers advantage. And really, the hubris, man, Wish with the level 5 Dagon, he's got the Hex queued up. You need Hex. Broodmother is only able to push bottom because he's not actually threatened by any lockdown. If the DK were to hard commit, all of a sudden perhaps Beast Coast swarm over, they counter-initiate. There's always that threat of the RP. You need the sheep now to be able to find these kills on the heroes as they split push.
He's got to find the money, unless he wants to sell the Dagon to actually get that lockdown, but then you're going to lose a large portion of your pop damage.
He's also going to have buyback up in a minute 30, so could be wanting to save gold.
Hard decision to be made. Do you want your lockdown? Do you want your damage? Do you want your buyback? And how many of these can you achieve?
But this is big. The racks is actually less important than the tier 3 because it opens up the shrines. All of a sudden, with no structures remaining outside on the map, Tinker's limited to the creep waves unless he wants to upgrade bots. But as I just said, like, he needs buyback, he needs Hex. He doesn't have the gold for all of these options. So if you're smart as Beast Coast, force a fight away from the creeps in the forest somewhere, all of a sudden, Tinker's not able to get there. You can't rinse repeat into the fight like he's been doing so.
Magnus walks right into the smoked up war team. And now the Cuz tries to create some space. Winter wide, but that's in a little too deep. Boogie's BKB'd. He'll be very happy to take this. Magnus does not have buyback available. Now the Chaos Knight looking for his own engagement. A 4-second stun. It's good over on the Undying. Chris Luck still having a hard time getting rid of this tombstone. The never-ending stuns are just there, and he's actually leaving it. And Chaos Knight can't move away. He has to stand his ground. In fact, you already had the TP out. Buyback is available from the CK. I think he's very happy he didn't spend that extra cash.
Indeed, and you know, that was an all-in. They found the Tinker, but he had to pop everything. The Hex, the BKB, no buyback on Wish, but the rest of his team is so strong. Again, Nifret's item build, you know, going for the GPM talent, going for that early Midas Radiance.
Oh, you're getting Ag Scepter as well on him. Blink
I
forward,
love it.
looking for the stun. Broodmother protected by the Lincoln Sphere. And whoa, what Stinger?
Back, dude.
Yep. There's that, yep. Good. No, not good, not good. He didn't fit. Wingspan too wide, can't fit in the hangar.
My man. I get you trying to prove that, you know, I watched Game of Thrones too. The Ice Dragon didn't end so well either. You gotta have a little more respect.
Hey, that was poor tactics. Beast Coast. Mid-racks. Remember, there's still one lane of racks up. The Broodmother's trying to play with the back line, get rid of this creep wave, and if he's able to do so, they actually will have to battle through backdoor protection. That one range creep is staying alive just long enough.
Oh, Disruptor.
Now, jump in, looking for it. Chris Luck able to get the BKB off. Still a tombstone. He didn't have good luck with that last time. And with BKB wearing up, get back over here, into the wall, and the storm. Nikwa, he tries to battle into him. Chris Luck, he's gonna go down quickly. The buyback's available. And Shaman will respawn. K1 managed to save his buyback and managed to use his buyback. So we will not have that. Another tier 3 tower to be dropped. Blink, Hex, Scoffeld. Able to get the ward trap before Staffs, just pushing Nefrit out of it. I like where that courier's going. Just BKB, just run straight to the top of everyone and try and kill the Disruptor off. They need to keep that detection up. Disruptor able to actually be brought down. Now it's Nefret. He's the bigger one. Shackle him. Hold that dragon in position. And now they really put their damage to the test. A 5-second stun from K1 will buy them all the time to bring him down. The mid lane of Rax was taken. So at least there was something back here for War as far as momentum in lanes. But Boogie looking for his own target, all for the 45-minute bounty runes. But Stinger, he just wants to die, man.
I mean, this Malcolm, man.
He's 250.
They missed it in the first game. Somebody's trying to pick that up before the series ends.
Okay, yeah, but 2-15 is still ridiculous.
Overemphasis on Rax. Rax do not matter anymore. You're playing against one team has a Tinker, the other has a Mag. People have no issue dealing with creep waves. Even Megas wouldn't necessarily end the game here. Go for the throne or just get what you came for and get out. As soon as CK respawns, you've got to respect the Broodmother buyback. And when the Rangers get caught napping, they had no Tinker in that fight. And this will then lead to them giving away Roche and this Aghanims on that pit. Who's going to grab it?
And I would almost give it to Shaman at this point, like just try and take down.
No, I think you give it to the CK.
You give it to the CK?
Reduce the incoming damage on the illusions. Make them a little more formidable. All of a sudden, you can survive through March no problem. You could also give it to Mag, maybe? Or Rasta.
Yeah. It's the Shamanist. It's the wards. It's definitely the wards.
That's a good point.
You're looking for the push.
Yeah, this is anybody's game. 1K gold, all that separates them. I know it's 48 to 25, but at this phase of the game, everybody's got all the items they could possibly need.
Look at JJ, we were trying to prove, like, yeah, this cursor goes this way. It kind of follows the graph.
Oh, wait. How is it that it says... Is it not counting the consumed Ags, I guess, on our in-game?
Because you had the Ags and then you consume it, so then it loses value. Oh.
Yeah, that's the case. I think it's because Aghanim's Blessing gives that plus 6,200 net worth in the graph, but not...
And drops.
Yeah. Right?
I'll say yes. Oh, it takes a second for that graph to update. We also hear in our ear. But it still looks like it's going down. Either way, smoke up from War. Let's get ourselves back onto things that are actually happening and not in our minds. Beast Coast. Is it just a high ground defense at this point?
Look at the wards they've got up, right?
This CK's coming down.
Find a fight here.
That's not worth it for a regeneration route. The blink, the stun. CK able to get his BKB off at least in time, but they get the back lines with the Wyvern. Boogie just focuses on the primary target and then glimpses it back over. Phantasm trying to dodge the pullback, but he gets pulled back into the storm, and the wall the Aegis Immortal triggered, but CK is already onto his next target. Over the Shadow Shaman in mid. The Mass Serpent Wards are down, but they're so far away from the fight now. The Magnus pulled back over. Great quick blink, but they keep the vision on him. Now he BKBs, does his own TP out, needing to survive and keep that RP possible.
The Black Dragon is here.
Oh, the jump. K1. You know what this needs? It needs more Dragon. Jumping in with Boogie, but they're focusing on the Rax instead. Now the jump comes in. It's a Hex over on Boogie. He's able to get himself further away. Chris Luck burning the BKB once more.
You just can't fight this team any longer. The supports just die, Toby. That's the issue. Boogie's done such a great job. The moment he identifies where the Wyvern might be, he blinks forward, pops BKB, and immediately solos him down. And with no Wyvern, there's no ability to deal with these BKBs of Wind and Rain. He desperately needs a Force Staff. He's got it queued up, but he's still a little ways away. In fact, I cannot believe it, but you're playing against the Night Stalker, Beast Coast. You don't have a Force Staff. It is impossible to play against.
There's one queued up on the Wyvern. Unfortunately, he's died a few times recently. Has lost the money. Still only level 17, the lowest level on the field. Meanwhile, War, the lowest they have is 23. That's the Undying, who's already got a Crimson Guard. Very, very tanky.
They've got to deward their basement. Another one placed inside of it. It's just so simple for Wind and Rain to take fights if they have vision or just an idea of where Beast Coast might be, because they can just pop Darkness and run forwards. They're going to be able to acquire vision first.
Here we go. Double RP. Let the Satanic from CK go to work. Buy him that time to rip everybody apart. Just keep the Empower buff up. It'll be nice to actually see what happens when Beast Coast have an initiation, which begins with Curse. Like, begins with Stinger pulling everybody together to get locked down twice.
That just
can't happen.
Not feasible. Not feasible. Stinger needs to play from. Think of it as like if
you say Fountain.
No, if you're pretending this.
Oh, the jump. Shaman glimmers back up, able to blink himself away. Glimmer Cape offering that extra protection. Gets the Hex over Night Stalker. Mass Serpent War's down in the middle of this fight. K1 very quickly set up the BKBs are breaking free. Godfell trying to keep the shackle control going. So Night Stalker, pull him out of the fight. RP is down, so just hold that Black Dragon in position. One RP, now your secondary curse is over on the Night Stalker. Byron comes to the Disruptor. Second RP does able to be connected, and they have the damage output if they can just keep them there. Godfell, there's the shackle. Hold him, bring down the Undying. Look for the next target. Tigger's able to blink himself away, but it's the DK. He's still so far on the front lines, underneath the Mass Serpent Wards, permanently stunned up by Beast Coast. They fight outside their base and they repel War.
That was perfect, Toby. Actually, the perfect fight. They found the Night Stalker. All they had to do, if you find the Night Stalker, suddenly the supports can survive. They get off a 3-man curse into a 3-man RP. That's why this fight finally goes their way. The supports have to survive. Huge window of opportunity now. There's buybacks up on every dead hero on Wind and Rain, but no ultimate on the DK.
You gotta push to force the buyback. That's what has to happen right now. There's number one, Undying. DK and Night Stalker both have them. Brood will make his play for a bottom lane. The Assault Cuirass coming only on the Courier now. It's not on her yet. In fact, she's got an item slot open for it. This is taking time. Buyback down from the Night Stalker. They get two. Can they get the big one? Can they get the Dragon Knight buyback two? There it is. The third buyback. The jump forward. Boogie. He's able to get the control over on the Shadow Shaman. He was a huge pest in the last fight. Now he's removed, as well as the Wyvern. The control factors are gone. And a glimpse pulling back CK. His BKB has already been expended. He cannot tank through War. And now it's 3 heroes from Beast Coast who go down, all without buyback.
And you can see both teams know what they've got to do. Wind and Rain, I love the way they staggered those buybacks. Beast Coast, they still have a little confidence. Maybe DK doesn't have one, he just got an Axe, who knows? But then all of a sudden, Boogie's jumping, there's the buyback, and they're just gonna get routed. They've got to ditch. 3 heroes now dead. The buybacks are off cooldown on the supports, but they just don't have the gold. You've got to shove lanes out now if you're Chris Luck. Hey, look at this, I love it. He's kiting with the spiders, trying to keep these creeps out of base. Every second you could buy could perhaps give you that little bit of a window.
10 seconds until CK's buyback is off cooldown. 30 seconds on the Brood, but short of money. So another tier 3 tower will fall. This will give Megas to War. Buyback now from CK. How far does War want to push this? Wyvern's up in 8 seconds. That curse is going to be huge. Look for it. CK stuns, a 3-second stun, tries to walk away. He's underneath 2 sentry wards. That Silver Edge is not helping you. Hit by 2, now going to be 3 mini-stunned rockets. The backdoor protection does not keep the racks alive. They have enough damage. War to get through it. And it's time to retreat.
Learned anything from the first game, though, it is not over yet. We've already seen one near Mega's comeback. Beast Coast in a position to potentially do it as well, but you've got to find kills against enemy heroes that do not have buyback. Remember, yes, they've lost their entire base, but they actually have a pretty significant window right now when you consider DK and the Night Stalker do not have buyback for 6 and 7, or 6 minutes respectively on both. So if you're Wind and Rain, you've got to just play conservatively, chill, build up your gold bank, and look to push once those BBs are back up. And if you're Beast Coast, shove the lanes, find an opening, strike hard.
They have a lot of good catches. Scottfield, I think, has actually played beautifully to try and find these openings. Like getting a quick hex, getting the control on the fights, getting a full duration BKB shackle off as well. Yeah, it's difficult for War to keep fighting in, but they need to isolate a hero. And so War just needs to have one person, let's say, for example, a Undying in the middle of nowhere.
It's just so much harder for him to play in comparison to Boogie, who can just say, oh, I think Rastus here, pops the silence, sees him, nullifies, boom.
They're coming out to fight.
Okay.
Roshan may respawn in 5 seconds time. They're using Undying as bait to see if Beast Coast want it, and Beast Coast are here. K1 runs in, he goes for the 4-second stun with the BKB in the backlines in the meantime. Shadow Shaman instantly evaporates. The Aegis Immortal, it was on the Undying, so he's already back alive, and both the supports of Beast Coast are down. The Phantasm can clean off the Tombstone, but that's the only upside Beast Coast have from that engagement.
Sick from Wind and Rain. Again, they find the supports that, again, do not have buyback. It's just every time, rinse and repeat. 18 deaths on Wyvern, 17 on Rasta, man.
And Beast Coast are being tested as much as this Dota2 client with how many entities can be on the field. Now the BKB, Night Stalker, is the primary focus of the Brood, but we can't really do much more. The BKB is pretty much wasted. Meanwhile, Black Dragon doing it strong. Hitting the tier 4 towers. Now another pullback in. A 6-second stun from K1 on the Night Stalker. But 4 staffs available. Getting the Night Stalker away to safety. Tier 4 towers are down. There's still no big AoEs. Where is that Magnus? Here he comes. There's your double RP. The Storm is good. It's going to do its work. Whisper. And a second one. Hold them in together. There's just War trying to hit into the dire agent and finish this job. But have they got enough life? They're focusing. K1 gets the 4 seconds off. Chris Lux in the back lines. He's killing off the Tinker. He's got him down. No buyback available. It was a dieback for him. He can't finish the job. DK, he can't die. He does die. They're dead for 2 minutes. Clean the wave. All is trying to finish the job. The catapults must die. Y'all must die. Clear and sail right now inside the dire base. Y'all trying to TP out. They see him. A 3-second stun. The Undying will go down to a triple kill for K1.
They all in with no buybacks, Toby. The only thing you can't do is die with a buyback. And look at the face, Chris Luck. He's excited now. They know all of a sudden 90+ seconds. It is a 5-on-2. You have absolutely nothing remaining in your base except for the Ancient. But what's the name of the game, Toby?
To win, take out the Ancient, but you need to stay alive for it.
They need a creep wave somewhere. They're gonna get a respawn right now. They gotta preserve this mid wave. That is the key.
Hey, you go Mega Man like creep. You hit down that dire Ancient. He's doing it solo.
Boogie cannot, honestly, he has to play for the base. He cannot go back to his own. You've got to try and somehow kill this throne. This one remaining creep gets taken out by Whisper.
Valley Sack and Chris Luck is just hoping. He's trying to find somebody to control. Right now, Broodmother has an army.
He needs bots. This is your chance.
He's in the back lines. He's got the creep wave.
Oh, I love it from...
He pulled the creep wave with the AoE. They hold the line. The Storm is out, so Chris Luck's going to trap. The same thing can be said for Boogie, so he's in trouble. No buybacks are available for any part from the Wyvern. But Disruptor does solo what the Broodmother. Distraction was there. It's still 28 seconds till Tinker is up. A lot of damage can be done. The CK has his Phantasms up. They're going for the tier 4 towers. There's no mass open walls. Just glimpsing one away. Put the wall up, but CK can reach. The blade is long enough. The tier 4 towers are dropping 14 seconds until you have the Tinker up. Glyph will buy him that little bit of extra time. They probably could have done that with the 3 hits. Is anyone going to use it?